Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today, as you can tell by the title, we are going to be comparing a light mouse versus a heavy mouse. So this mouse here is the Hati-S. This is 47 grams. We're going to be comparing it to the G502, which is, I believe it's 121 grams. So it's a pretty big difference. It makes a big difference in gaming and your aim and tracking, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to get into all the details and why the light one is better for gaming. If you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more videos like this. But other than that, let's get straight into it. Alright, so the first mouse we're going to be looking at and comparing with today is the Hati-S. Now this mouse comes in at 47 grams, about 47 grams, like without the cable. So yeah, it's pretty light. One of the lightest mice on the market. And now comparing this to the Logitech G502, which is around 121 grams, it's a pretty big difference. But for lighter mouse, the reason why a lot of people like it, especially for Fortnite, is because Fortnite, you're doing a lot of fast movement, a lot of fast flicks. And with a lighter mouse, it's a lot easier. It feels a lot lighter in your hand, obviously. And with a heavier mouse, it's gonna feel extremely heavy, especially when you flick. When you flick, it's gonna feel more heavy. Also, when you pick it up to make those micro adjustments or adjustments when you need to go back to the center of your mouse pad, a heavier mouse is gonna be a lot harder to move around. And a lighter mouse just makes it a lot quicker and a lot easier, since Fortnite you use a lot of flicking and fast movements and stuff like that. So now we're gonna get into some tracking with this mouse. So as you can see, with the lighter mouse, it is a little bit stuttery when I'm tracking, but overall it's gonna feel a lot better and a lot easier to track your opponent, even though it does look a little bit more it does have a little bit more of like a stuttery kind of movement instead of being completely smooth. It still will feel a lot better and it'll be a lot easier to track your opponent as well. Now moving on to the tile frenzy. Now this is another reason for Fortnite why you would want a lighter mouse. It's because you can do your flicks and everything a lot quicker and a lot more precise. With the heavier mouse, you're going to be kind of missing your targets a lot because it's obviously heavier, so it's harder to have more stable aim. And with a lighter mouse, you can do a lot faster flicks. Obviously with a heavier mouse, it's going to be harder to do like fast flicks, especially in Fortnite, because of the weight. It's going to be harder to move it back and forth, and it's going to feel a lot slower than with the lighter mouse. It's just so much easier just to flick and do a lot of fast aim or fast movements with it. And now once again, going back to the kind of flicking and fast-paced movements with a lighter mouse, as you can see in this clip, I can hit all of my shots pretty easily, especially when I'm flicking, because again, with the lighter mouse, it's so much easier to flick, especially in Fortnite with a lighter mouse, as with a heavier mouse. It's going to be a lot harder and it's going to feel a lot slower when you try to flick. As you can see here, I'm just a lot more precise with my shots. I'm hitting mostly every single shot, since my playstyle is kind of like a flicky kind of playstyle. If your playstyle is kind of like that, you definitely want a lighter mouse, especially for Fortnite, because with a heavier mouse, once again, you will not be able to hit those flicks as much as you will with the lighter mouse. So here we are with another clip again. I do miss one shotgun shot here, but that's just because the game was kind of laggy, to be honest. But once again, it's just a lot easier to have fast-paced movement and aim with a lighter mouse. But yeah, let's just get into the heavier side of things now. Alright, so now moving on to the Logitech G502, which does come in at 121 grams, which is one of the heaviest mice in the market. I'm pretty sure the Death Adder is a bit heavier, but this is a pretty well-known mouse for it being a brick, basically. So basically, free building doesn't really determine it doesn't really show that much, like the difference between a heavy mouse and a light mouse. You can see a little bit that I'm messing up and stuff, but free building really isn't the main thing. But the main thing here with heavier mice is if you have kind of a flicky playstyle, or especially if you play in a lower sense. If you play in a lower sense, it's definitely going to be harder for you to use a heavier mouse, especially the G502, because when you're picking it up and centering the mouse to your mouse pad, especially when you are going like kind of off your mouse pad or close to off your mouse pad, and you correct your mouse placement, it's going to be a lot harder to do it compared to a lighter mouse because it does feel heavier, so you're gonna feel like a lot of weight is gonna be in your hand, picking it up and then moving it back, picking it up, moving back. Your hand kind of aches a little, especially for me since I'm used to a smaller mouse. When I used the G502, it completely just ached my hand because of how heavy it felt. So that's another thing you got to be aware of. But yeah, that just goes to show how heavy this mouse actually is and how you don't really want a heavy mouse. But yeah, free building pretty much the same, not really much that's going to be different when you're actually free building, especially in Fortnite. But yeah, let's just move on to the tracking with the heavy mouse. So as you can see with the tracking, it does look smoother than the lighter mouse. But that is because since it is heavier, you can be a little bit more smoother instead of with a light mouse. It's going to be just a little bit more stuttery, but overall, pretty much the same for tracking. It kind of just depends on you as well and I guess your bloom too. But a heavier mouse, the only advantage that they have is that this tracking will just be a little bit smoother, but that doesn't really make a difference between even if it stutters, you can still have better tracking with stuttering, but it just makes it more smoother, I guess. But that's really the only advantage with tracking on a heavy mouse. Now onto the tile frenzy with the heavy mouse. Now this is where the heavy mouse struggles a lot. As you can see, I'm missing a ton of shots, and that is because I can't do fast and precise flicks with the heavy mouse. As you've seen before with the lighter mouse, I was able to hit faster and more accurate flicks with the lighter mouse, and with the heavy mouse, this is just not the case. It's definitely a lot harder because of the weight, and it just feels like you're holding a brick in your hand, and it's just imagine aiming with a brick. That's basically how it feels. Yeah, as you can see, missing some shots. I did go on a little streak of hitting some shots, but very inconsistent with hitting shots, and I was a lot slower on hitting the shots as well since I can't really flick fast with a heavy mouse. I'm not sure what this guy was doing landing in late, but he's just running around like I don't even know what he was doing, but he couldn't find a gun, so unfortunate for him. But once again, it is a lot harder with a heavier mouse to hit your shots, and especially with Fortnite, you need to be, it's kind of like a fast-paced game. You need to be on your feet all the time, being ready to like do fast mouse movement. Yeah, that's why a heavy mouse isn't really that good. Some people actually do prefer a heavy mouse, but most people do prefer a lighter mouse so they can have those fast flicks. But yeah, as you can see, it was tough for me to kind of aim there, and a heavy mouse overall is just a lot harder to move around because of how heavy it is, and it will ache your hand. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to comment down below because I'm down to make more videos, more content type videos like this. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Peace, boys.